I'm not making a video because it's my village, but I think that there are a few fascinating things that everyone should know about Mukundgarh. And the first thing is going to be the heritage. A lot of people were having their heritage homes and they have constructed them into heritage hotels and havelis. So when the visitors come and they sleep, and the first thing that they do in the morning is that they will have to go to the terrace garden and they will have to pick the vegetables and fruits, and they are the ones who are going to cook food for themselves. The utensils and all those facilities will be provided by the managers. I saw some posts on Instagram and Facebook as well. Mostly people from France and Paris were posting their pictures on the rooftops of Mukundgarh and with the hashtags of made my own food and kind of like. It's a very fascinating thing to see that some village with a very low population is capable of doing such things with an environmentalist approach as well. So they are preserving the environment, their culture, and they are fusing it with the modern forms of hospitality. The second thing is going to be the concept of Samaj. So Samaj is a cluster of people who might have the same caste or the same mentality or same thinking. So for conducting any kind of program or any kind of function, the first thing that you are going to need is a lot of money, that is for sure. The next thing that comes up is utensils, clothing, and decoration and protection items. So it becomes very expensive in village economy to buy all those things. So it is not possible for village families to own these types of utilities. So the concept of Samaj comes in, and what happens is for any kind of Samaj, let's say Saini Samaj or Rajput Samaj or Darzi Samaj, so they have their own utensils, the utility items, and the clothing, the decoration ones, and all of those that are needed for carrying out any kind of a program. And donations are being made on monthly or annual basis, and it is totally on the will of the people associated with that Samaj. They want to donate or not. If you think that you are not capable of any kind of donation, you will still have access to all of those facilities. Any member of the Samaj can have access to all of those facilities and utilities in a very economic manner. So that's the most beautiful thing. The third thing is going to be the merchant class and the textile. So during the times of 1950 and 2000, a lot of people from Mukundgarh went to the three presidencies that were Bombay, Madras and Kolkata. And once they went there, they brought textile with them. So Mukundgarh became a hub for textiles. And Mukundgarh is known for its communal harmony since the beginning. So what happened was the Hindus were making and manufacturing textiles, and the Muslims were painting them. So the Muslims were responsible for the creative works, whereas the Hindus were responsible for manufacturing works. So even if you go now, like as of today, if you visit Mukundgarh, you will find that a lot of textiles are being made, and the Muslims, as in the local language, they are called the Leelgars. And there is an entire song of Sima Mishra on that word, Leelgar. So Leelgars were the one who are the painters of textiles and clothes. So tie-dye is one of the most famous things of Mukundgarh, the Lugda. And it's a kind of an economic policy. So the first thing that happens is that the merchant class, they buy textiles or they manufacture the textiles. It's a blank piece of cloth. Most likely it is going to be white only. So after that, they are going to distribute these pieces of cloth to the ladies of Mukundgarh. And what they are going to do next is they are going to tie tiny knots with the help of a specialized nail, and they are going to tie knots on the piece of cloth. And the Leelgars are going to come, they are going to collect and pay them for the number of knots. The Leelgars are going to take the clothes with them, and now they are going to paint them and dye them. And after dyeing them, they are going to dry them, and it comes back to the manufacturers, and they are going to sell it based on their own modes, whether retail or wholesale or exports. So it's a kind of economic process of Mukundgarh. During that Chopal time, when the ladies sit together, they are talking, sipping their cups of tea, and then they are tying. So it's a blend of economy and communal harmony. The fourth one is going to be the human capital of Mukundgarh. A lot of people from Mukundgarh have become IAS, IPS. A lot of people are known by their caste also. So I'm not trying to be racist, but it is famous. The Shekhawati belt is famous for their merchant class. And some of the names include the Ruiyas, Goenkars, Podars, Birlas. Birlas is a name that I believe every Indian knows. One of the prime examples of craftsmanship in Mukundgarh is the scissors. So Mukundgarh makes world-class scissors, export quality scissors, and they are being exported, and only a few families are there who make them with their bare hands. So if you are thinking of buying a scissor, just try to visit Mukundgarh once. Fifth is going to be the facility of shmashaan and the burial or the cremation grounds. So there is going to be an entire new video, a separate video on these facilities. So the three Devis have their blessings on the entire Shekhawati belt and Mukundgarh especially, I would say. Durga because we have a lot of soldiers in the Indian Army from Shekhawati. The first career choice of any boy from Junjunu is going to be the armed forces. And since I come from Junjunu as well, it was my first objective also. So I also went for the SSB interview. At least once we have to go there. It's our prime duty. एक ना एक बार हमको जाना है. That is our supreme duty. Lakshmi because there have been a lot of merchant class. The Neel-Kars, the merchant class has been very successful and they are the ones who made Mukundgarh, who established Mukundgarh. Saraswati because Junjunu is becoming an education hub. It is becoming a leader in providing education with the terms of college, coaching and schools. This is it. I think that I have tried to showcase some of the best things about Mukundgarh. And I'm not sponsoring any content. It was meant to be as a case study and I thought it would be very good to share